The Salt River Project is a water and power utility based out of the Phoenix metropolitan area in Arizona. And one of our primary concerns with the Quagga mussel issue is the fact that we operate a series of 6 reservoirs and dams on the Salt and Verde system. So we have 4 dams on the Salt River and 2 dams on the Verde River. And these dams are a chain of lakes, basically. So one dam reservoir feeds into the next. So if they get in the upper dams and reservoirs, they'll just continue through our system. And then the Salt River Reservoir system feeds into our canal system, which has an arterial branching canals throughout the Phoenix metropolitan area, and that's what delivers the water to the water users, and that is majority agricultural use, residential use, and then the cities. So if the mussels get in, they can impact the dams, they can impact recreation, and they can also impact our delivery system and the canal system. If they get into the reservoirs, it will be a continuous feed of veligers and mussels into that system. So we are very concerned that they could get in and move throughout and down into the valley. So presently, SRP does not have any mussels in our reservoir system, but they are rather close. They're in Lake Pleasant, which is west of SRP's chain of lakes. And it is possible to drive from Lake Pleasant with a boat in the same day and get to Bartlett Lake, Horseshoe Lake, any of the lakes where people will take their boats to go and recreate. And one of the issues is there aren't really places for people to take their boats and decontaminate them. We are working with a number of the different agencies and entities within the Phoenix area, but one of the main challenges is the dams are owned by the Bureau of Reclamation. SRP operates the dams, and then the recreation itself is controlled by the Forest Service. So you have all these different entities at play. You also have the Sheriff's Department, which enforces the laws on the water. And then you have a number of different recreational vectors that can come in. So you've got the regular watercraft, jet skiers, water skiers, you have the fishermen, and there are a number of different people that come into Arizona from various different states. So they also don't know the educational components. So we're trying to get the message out there that you need to clean, drain, and dry your boat. And then we're working to get that information to the marinas as well, because that's the main point of contact, is people come into the state to work with them and inform them if they came from Lake Pleasant, you are potentially a carrier of quagga mussels and or veligers. If you came from the lower Colorado River system, you could potentially bring the mussels into our lakes. So we want to get that information out there. We're working with the Forest Service to get the information to the public as they sell their day-use boat passes. We're working with Game and Fish on their Don't Move a Mussel campaign. And we're really trying to get that information out there, get the people aware of the issue, and then give them the options of potentially going and trying to decontaminate their boat if they could, or let it dry out for the appropriate time period before they launch on another body of water. So when the mussels first came into the Phoenix area, into Lake Pleasant, SRP was very concerned, and they were worried that they might get into our chain of lakes. So we decided that we should go out and do some proactive early monitoring, and part of that incorporates using the black plastic plates. We've got 6x6 plates at all of our dams, and we pull them up monthly to look for the presence or absence, whether or not there are mussels growing on the plates. And then we're also doing some water quality sampling and analysis to use the polarized light and determine whether or not we have veligers present. And this is also done on a monthly basis. And hopefully that will help us be better aware of the situation if it is to come up. If one of the reservoirs is infected with mussels, we can react accordingly depending upon which reservoir it is and what infrastructure is below that. We also have some of the bio boxes on our canals to do monitoring as well. So they're in our low flow hydro plants. So the water from the canals is pumped into the bio boxes, and we can do monitoring in that respect. And then we do have sample substrates in our canals as well, so we can go out and pull those up monthly and also look for the presence or absence of mussels. Okay, so SRP became concerned about the quagga mussel issue when they were first found in Lake Pleasant, and we decided that we should be proactively monitoring our reservoirs. So we went out and we installed sample plates at all of our dams, and those are pulled up once a month. We have the 6x6 black plastic plates, and they're hanging near the dams. And then we also go out and we do water quality monitoring to look for the veligers under the polarized light, and that is also done once a month. And this will help determine whether or not the mussels get there and determine how we want to react. And depending upon which lake could potentially become infected, will determine which plan we decide to take. We also have bioboxes in our canals, so the water from the reservoirs goes into the Phoenix metropolitan area and then it's distributed throughout the valley in a system of canals. We have bioboxes at our low-flow hydro facility, and we also have sampling plates in the canals as well so that we can pull them up once a month and see whether or not we have quagga mussels growing on the plates. And part of this is because it is possible to drive from Lake Pleasant to Bartlett Lake, Horseshoe Lake, any of the lakes within the same day, so the potential for that vector to come over is very high, and those mussels could be there. We want to know if and when they're there as soon as possible so that we can react accordingly.